Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer comment today that is stated, psychopaths love submission. For example, think of purple elephants. Even saying, hi, please sit down, is what they will say. Normal, average people don't detect this, but this is what and how psychopaths pick you out. Will you do what I want? Will you do what I want? So this is really interesting because are you willing to do what I want is how they think. Hypnotic language. Because they know if they can get their foot in the front door, eventually they'll swing the door wide open. So it's amazing that they made this comment, and we were just sort of talking about this in the previous video. So, when we talk about submission, meaning are you submitting to their commands? Will you do what I want? And most people, like we talk about, the psychopath will come in generally with a sob story. And then they will, help me. Is usually, I think if we can look at the beginning, is there some degree of this in the experience? In other words, and they will use this not to, to create a bond or a connection, because if they have truly been through something, then tell me about it. What happened? What did you do? Oh my gosh, why don't you try, so that would be a bond. But a psychopath, they don't have bonds with people. They will have a mission or an agenda of whatever it is that they want, and they do not like boredom. So they just have an ongoing series of things that they are interested in to get them from A to B or what have you. But what they're trying to do is then get you to follow a command, something very subtle. And I agree with the viewer is that if they can do something, oh yeah, can you hand me that pencil? Yeah, do you see? And then they do it again and again, and then they will then treat you as if you are submissive. So they will gradually take you from one of either being equals or, what I'm saying, to making you submissive. Even they will, this is awesome. I mean, this is so very true. If you understand, they will always try to keep you under their thumb, under their guise of control. If they're younger, older, male, female, whatever it is, they'll try to use something to always overpower you or outsmart you in ways that you cannot have a roundabout, normal bonding conversation with them. It's just not how they roll. They have to talk in a circle, I think, for themselves, because they're trying to prove something about how they want to be perceived, but they want you then to be submissive and submit to that and then cooperate, do what they want. So you end up betraying yourself in the long haul, because usually this is what oftentimes is required. Self-betrayal of your needs, what you want to say, being able to communicate, express an opinion, check out some facts, have a vocabulary, have a sense of self, have a community. I mean, we're talking about basic language. I mean, they will deprive you of basic communication. I mean, we're talking at the most insidious and hurtful and harmful of levels. I mean, it's just preposterous. It's so unbelievably sad and disgusting. They love submission. You must always, will they then be barking commands and then submission? So in other words, treating you as if you are the subordinate always, and then disempowering you as such. So using this leverage, whatever it is, I'm taller, I'm the woman, I'm the this. I mean, you will never ever stand a chance. I mean, they will find anything and anything. I mean, just you will go around in circles. This is how, and it gets more intense with age and time. So it will wear you out. It will, to try to be in a relationship with them and not be the submissive one is just not going to happen. I mean, I don't think it can happen. Psychopaths, you cannot be an equal to. You cannot be on an equal level. It's just they need, I think, like this viewer stated, they love submission. And for you to then be submissive, to be docile, to be easily, wheeled around like a great wheelbarrow. If you can be as submissive and be on their marching orders and do whatever it is, and they oftentimes will demand this unquestioning obedience, unquestioned compliance, even though it is not right. And like this book, Emotional Vampires, in Dr. Bernstein is using an example of someone who is in marketing, and it's going to take them a long period of time to get this job done. And then the psychopath, who is the boss in this example, oh, but we need it by this and this, and then gets him to betray himself, to fudge the numbers or whatever it is he had to do to be, to be submissive. In other words, to still maintain his job position. I mean, did you see people end up having to then to lie, or become what I would say is more like the psychopath? People then begin to be convinced into thinking or behaving or, being imprinted by the psychopath. So they might find that they have some then similar feelings. It's really, an empathy will and entrainment will pick that up. So a similar pattern, because you're taking in with your eyes, and that's how you learn. I mean, you will, monkey see, monkey do. So if you see someone always yelling, you will begin to yell. If you see someone always standing up tall and standing up for something, you will begin to stand tall and you will begin to stand for something. If you are around people who are lying, they will expect others to enable them or lie, and basically help them and facilitate for them to live a lie. Not that they're trying to get on their feet, they are trying to outsmart or outwit and then leave you in the dust. I mean, this is unfortunately what they do. I mean, it's a great thing. And so people are always left in the dark, disempowered, learned helplessness, learned hopelessness, feeling feeble, feeling frail, feeling insecure, disoriented, lost, unlovable. I mean, all these different things that people then put themselves into an emotional ditch. Get out of the ditch. I mean, don't dig that for yourself. Do not carry their torch and begin to give all that negative self-talk to yourself, because you begin to replay it like an automatic loop. Turn it off. Get rid of the station. Throw out the a lot of people have to keep in tune to it because they still need to figure it out what the heck happened. So it's a very difficult fine line to do, to sort of throw away the antenna and yet still feel like you have learned your lesson or understood where you stand. Stand where you stand. I mean, it's so important that you reclaim this and really get into self-care, self-embracing, your truth, your I am, especially as it centers around the heart center and positive, connected to source, what you truly need. I mean, people will need recovery and healing. I mean, just like a drowning man needs air. I mean, it can become that real, that severe, that urgent. We get that. So it's important that this is a good indicator for you to do a body scan, that you need to get away. Maybe you don't want to get away. Maybe you would love to stay in the relationship. I mean, maybe, this is where you would love to work. Maybe this is where you would love to live. Maybe you would love to be married to this person. Maybe, I'm not sure this relationship, but oftentimes you cannot have the closeness and connection that you are capable of with these types of people. They will not have it. They will, quote unquote, call you out when you are doing nothing more than exposing their inability for intimacy, closeness, and sort of it's just not what they're capable of. And unfortunately, it's very difficult and painful, I think, oftentimes for people to accept. but don't be submissive. Don't be backed down into a living in your shell. I mean, living, feeling that you are always, you can't think for yourself. Whatever sort of clause that they sort of put into this manipulation, that you had to submit, that you couldn't think for yourself, live, earn for yourself, study, whatever that they're trying to separate you from is from your self-autonomy and self-agency. Get that self-agency back. It's okay. A lot of people feel guilty. They feel bad. They feel it's unresolved. It's okay. You don't have to be submissive anymore. You can be a dominant force for good in your own life. And so it is. It might be a first run for you. It might be a virgin run, a novel run, but make the journey, make the run. I can dominate my happiness. I can dominate my fitness. I can dominate my joy. I can dominate my humor. I am captain of my soul. I mean, you have to be willing to take the job application to be responsible for yourself. I mean, you basically will have to sign up for the job. You have to say, I've got this. I will take it, and I will no longer be the submissive. I'm no longer going to be locked in the basement. It's like I'm no longer going to be locked in the ditch. That is not me. Even if you think that I belong there, that's okay, but that is not the truth. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe, and for goodness sake, please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Have a peaceful heart. Have a uplifted heart. And also really be aligned with connection to respect and reverence. Understand what these words mean, to have a reverence, to have a respect for self. And be willing to acknowledge and validate some of the things that come together in your life for a reason. And begin to really embrace these, God winking, synchronicities. You finally saw your sign, Bill Engvall. I mean, it's okay to embrace this and then move on. Even if you have been in a holding pattern for some time, you can change. It's okay to sort of change chapters, change life stages. Take a stage up in development for yourself. It's okay. You are lovable. You are good enough, and you are wise, and you have the knowledge. And this, reaffirm, I know. Have a beautiful day.